Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the San Francisco Giants. And I wasn't planning on recording today, honestly. I was 2 videos ahead, and usually that's like to where I like to sit. I like to put out a video every other day. I had Wednesday and Friday's video all good to go, and I was going to record it's Tuesday right now. It's Tuesday the 16th. On Wednesday the 17th, I was going to record next Monday's video. But I decided to post videos on back-to-back days. So you guys got a video yesterday on the Monday the 15th. I just posted another one here on the 16th. I have Thursday's video now already recorded, and then this might be on Friday. I don't know. This might be a 4-video week. I'm not really sure yet. But we're ready to go. And before we jump into it, I wanted to take a look at this page. I don't know if this has always been here. If it has, I've completely missed it. But this is really cool. Showing all of our best and worst trades, our best acquisitions, and our greatest losses. This is really neat. Just kind of gives you a brief history of the teams. You can see our 5 best acquisitions were all via trade. Nolan Jones, Royce Lewis, Luzardo, Guerrero, and Carlson. Those have all obviously been big names in our playthrough so far. Nolan Jones has given us almost 17 WAR in his time. Royce Lewis almost 16. Luzardo gave us 11.5 before moving on. Vlad's given us 10. Dylan Carlson was an underrated signing, 7 WAR for us, and he's playing really well in Miami. Or at least the ratings are still holding on. He's somebody I might consider bringing back because that's not a ton of money, and those are really good ratings against lefties. Contreras has been really good. He'll move on this year. Yamamoto and Nishimura, my 2 Japanese pitchers. Rafaela, Mason and Miller, Sean Noel, Griffin Canning, who we had for 2 years before moving on to Houston, was pretty good. Noah Schultz, a year and a half has been really good. Isaac Coffey, a couple of years for us has been really good. Aaron Bummer was fine, and then Reed Detmers. And it shows our best trades. Our best deal was the Royce Lewis trade. Overall, what we've gained in WAR, we traded Dario Lopez, Keaton Wins, Wack, Meckler, Bostic, and Weber, getting Royce Lewis. We've gained 8.5 WAR. Second best deal was the Vlad deal. Reggie Crawford, Ryan Walker, Carson Seymour for Vlad. Then the Luzardo deal. Toribio and Sugiste for Luzardo. Then the Dylan Carlson deal. Tom Murphy for Dylan Carlson. And then the deal we made with the Red Sox last year, getting Rafaela and Campbell, giving up Manzardo and Bummer. On the flip side, the worst deal we made was the Josh Naylor and Kyle Manzardo deal. We've lost almost 8 WAR on that deal. Tristan Beck has had a pretty okay career. Not great. He's been okay. He's been okay with Cleveland. 7.5 WAR over 6 seasons. Then Jordan Hicks and Alec Thomas. I'm fine with that because it got us out from underneath the Hicks contract. This one, you can ignore this one. This was me screwing around one year trying to put a trade together, and I clicked submit trade rather than clear. So I had to go into commissioner mode and reverse it. This one, it might come back to haunt us. Luis Matos is having just an absolutely monster season this year with the Mets. Had a monster season with the Mets. 5 WAR, 22 home runs, 75 knocked in. Still room for improvement with Bradfield and Tabrake, who was hurt for most of the year, but so far not so good there. And then moving Robbie Ray again was a contract thing, so we lost some money there. But this is a really neat page. It's a really neat page. Anyway, we're at the offseason, or at the postseason. We finished 103-59. So August we were 15-13, September 9-5, so 24-18 over the last month and a half. Obviously, our season was really vaulted by March, April, and then June. We finished 103-59. We won the division by 15 games. We had the best record in the majors. We certainly did. And offensively, Royce Lewis led us in WAR again. He's going to be expensive, man. He's going to be expensive. We got to find a way to bring him back, assuming Nolan Jones opts out. So I'm hoping if we have to make a decision, we're bringing back Lewis. We're bringing back Lewis and we'll let Nolan Jones walk because we've got Paredes who can slide over to third if necessary. Rafaela, great season. I mean, really had a fantastic season for us. His offensive numbers were really good, especially once you got into May, or really once you got into June, July, August, and September. He was a 300 hitter. But give us 4.5 WAR. Shanuel, not a power guy, but going to give us, he gave us an 881 OPS, 142 OPS plus, got on base 40% of the time. Nolan Jones gave us some. We had 4, 5 20 home run guys. Well, you can't really count Paredes, but 5 20 home run guys. Jones with another good year, 3.7 WAR. This could be it for him, though, if he opts out. Paredes with us, 251, 371, 515. I will take the 884 OPS with the 140 OPS plus, and he was decidedly bad in left, but that's all right. One of our Rule 5 guys, Anthony Gutierrez, he really gave us just a fantastic number 4 outfielder. Gave us 2.5 WAR. Was well above average at all 3 outfield positions, which is great. Contreras, we're going to need a new catcher next season, but his ratings have started to dip. So that's okay. Yeah, he's not going to – if he opts in at $8 million, I'll take it, but he won't. Carlos Jorge was our other waiver wire pickup at the beginning of the season, and forced maybe into a little bit more full-time role than what we would have liked. He wasn't particularly good in the field. In fact, he was really bad. But, if we can play him at first or we can use him as a super utility guy, I will take that. Wyatt Sanford was the very first call-up that we've had from any of our drafts, and he banged 343, 378, 522, hit a couple of home runs, drove in 15, and was really good at second and was slightly below average at short, which I expect to change, but he was really good. Bradfield, not great. Not a good season for Enrique. The ratings suggest he should at least be a slap hitter. And I'll be honest, if I had BABIP turned off and I was looking at his ratings from the lens like we normally do, I probably don't make that trade last year. And I probably, one of the other deals I had was with the Cubs for Pete Crow Armstrong. I probably make that deal instead, but it is what it is. Vlad was a negative WAR player. We may look to move him once we get to the offseason. We don't want to tell him that, but we may end up moving him in the offseason. $27 million. I'd rather have Jones and Lewis than Lewis and Guerrero, because again, if we have both Jones and Paredes, we can just make one of them a first baseman. So pitching, it was a weird season. Fumito Yamamoto was our rookie, and he was just dynamic. 13-5, 280 ERA, 275 FIP, 6.5 WAR. Kyle Harrison only won 8 games. Won 8 games all year, had an ERA over 4, but still gave us 4.5 WAR, and he'll still probably be our game 1 starter. He's making a ton of money. So, but it's only for 3 years. So we can survive. Iso Nishimura, just another fantastic year for us, back-to-back seasons from him, where he's not making it's not terrible. He's making 15 this year, 14 next. He's going to start getting expensive in 2031, but for now, it's not a problem. Noah Schultz was outstanding. 15-7, struck out 189 and 181 innings. Yeah, he was great. His ARB number is going to jump to 6.3. And then Dustin May was terrific. After we picked him up from Philadelphia, he was 5-1 with a 3.14, 140 ERA plus. Purely a rental, but he was terrific. In the bullpen, Isaac Coffey saved 50 games. His ARB number jumps, and we may be looking at $8 million. We're probably looking to move Isaac Coffey. There have been a lot of teams interested in him, so we might be able to get something there. Matt Brash was really good after us picking him up, struck out 29 in 19 innings. Isaiah Campbell, back-to-back, really good years after getting him from the Red Sox for really next to nothing. Funderburk was pretty good. Emmett Sheehan had another nice season. What's his number jump to? 4.9, yeah. Kyle Hurt came back, and out of the bullpen, he was okay. What's his ARB number going to be? 3.6. His ARB number, or his numbers out of the bullpen were pretty good. He struck out 40 in 30 innings. To break didn't pitch much, but he was really good when he did. He got hurt. And then Gavin Stone, who is another one who's under arbitration, 2.6, which isn't bad. So, yeah, I think we're going to move on from Coffee. So Coffee and Brash will be gone, and we'll move on from there. So that's just those ERA pluses. Every single one of our pitchers had an ERA plus of over 100. So that's where we ended up, and it's time for the postseason. I don't know who is our fourth starter. Do we pull May out? I think Dustin May, as crazy as it sounds. We're gonna go 4-man rotation. We're gonna start Harrison. Yeah, we'll go Harrison, Nishimura, Yamamoto, and Schultz in the playoffs. We'll put Dustin May in there. And what else do we need to look at? Nothing yet. So we're just gonna do some simming, playoff tree. So Red Sox, Orioles, Angels, Tigers, Pirates, Rockies, Cubs, and the Austin Tornado, the Washington Nationals. Bunch of players retiring. Bellinger, Candelario, Trenton Brooks. It's fine. Playoff tree. So the Rockies beat the Pirates. The Tornado beat the Cubs. So it looks like we're going to be taking on the Colorado Rockies in the National League Division Series. They're going to be sending out. It's not a bad rotation for the Rockies. Honestly, Nestor Cortez, Camilo Doval, Kodai Senga, with Hayden Birdsong, the former San Francisco Giant, put up 4 straight seasons of a 5+ ERA, but giving them some war. And then Camilo Doval is their ace. He led the National League in ERA this year as a starter. It's a great move by the AI. I love this. Offensively, they've got some talent. I mean, Jordan Beck looks pretty good. Ezekiel Tovar. Glad we didn't end up signing him. What did he end up signing? It's not a terrible contract, only a 4-year deal, so they didn't sign him long term. Amador is a player who's got some skills. Zach Veen looks okay. Drew Romo, the best defensive catcher in the game. Yeah, so that's what's going on in the postseason. So we're going to have Kyle Harrison going for us today against Camilo Doval in Game 1, and we are up 1-0 with a 5-2 victory. Vlad with a home run. Jorge, Vlad, Jones, Contreras, Rafaela, all with RBIs, and I need to go in here and do this. Never. Set all of these to, actually, let's do this. Let's go and let's do that, and now we can go in here and go never. Sanford can be the defensive replacement for Jorge. I'm good with that. We don't need Rafaela as a defensive replacement for Nolan Jones. Gutierrez as a defensive replacement for Paredes. I'm fine with that. And then, what are we missing? We're missing our second baseman, Carlos Jorge. Make sure we set all these to never. And in this case, we'll have Bradfield in as a defensive replacement for Paredes. That's good. All right. Now you got Game 2 now. So Doval didn't go in Game 1. It'll be Doval against Nishimura in Game 2. We're up 2-0 with a 4-2 win. So Vlad with 3 more RBIs. Paredes has 2 hits. Nishimura goes 6. We look for the sweep. It'll be Fumito Yamamoto against Nestor Cortez in the Mile High City. And we lose 5-2. Beck hits a 3-run homer. We get 2 hits from Shanuel. Yamamoto doesn't pitch particularly well. All right. We got Noah Schultz against Kodai Senga here in Game 4. The series is tied at 2. They scored 2 in the first. Home run from Amador. We get 2 hits from Bradfield, 2 hits from Rafaela. Schultz didn't pitch terribly. 3 earned runs and 5 1/3. All right, so we're going to our ace. This is why he's our ace. Kyle Harrison against Hayden Birdsong in Game 5. I can totally see us losing this game. And, yep, we had a 2-0. This is the first time I have been very disappointed in the way that the season played out. We had a 2-0 lead on Colorado, blew the series, lost 3 straight games, and that sucks. That one stings. 5-2, 4-2, and then 3 straight losses to the Rockies. Changes need to happen. I don't know what those changes are, but we got to get over the hump here, guys. We're getting ready to head into year 7, and we haven't made it out of the DS. I don't think we've made a World Series yet. No, we made a World Series in our first season. In our first season, we lost in 7 games in the World Series. That's right. So Yankees, Angels, Rockies, Brewers. It's not a terrible Rockies team, but they did only win 88 games. So it's not like I can sit here and say that they're better than us. They clearly weren't. Angels and Brewers. At least we'll have an interesting World Series champion this year. It won't be us, but it'll be an interesting World Series champion. International Showcase. We'll do International Amateurs real quick. Man, that's annoying. That is truly annoying. Aguilar, yep, I like him. Let's invite those players. Make me do this, and then go back here, and then go 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, we'll get him. We'll get him next year, right? We'll get him next year. So we'll go Wrangle. He's not really a starter, and he's fragile. Low work ethic from Soto, but the options look like they're fairly limited this year. Leal looks like a decent pitcher. Can invite 3 more. Yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm officially annoyed. This is the first time in this playthrough I've been annoyed. I've really enjoyed. I mean, I've had a lot of fun, and I'm not gonna stop because I'm annoyed. But yeah, that was frustrating. We had the best team in the league all year long, and we couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done in the postseason. We're quickly turning into one of those teams that just say you can't get it done. So the Angels are your 2029 World Series champions, and now things are going to be interesting in the offseason here. As we're going to have some opt-outs. We're going to have some declined player options. I'm a god, all right. All right, let's see what we need to deal with. Oh, okay. I didn't realize his... shoot. All right. What do we have? Do we have anything? We have $845,000. And all of these have dropped. Our owner dropped our budgets. Sure did. Our hitting coach retired. All right, well, let's get into arbitration and let's save some money where we can, I guess. And then first and foremost, we can just do that because neither of those guys will accept that. It's not an unreasonable contract. I just got to come up with the money. All right, so first things first, let's sign our players to ARB. So it looks like Nolan Jones, his opt-out is after this upcoming season. So we'll have Nolan Jones for the year. Freeman, we'll go ahead and withdraw. Gavin Stone. 2.6, so 245. All right. I'm going to save Coffee for last because we are likely to move him. Marinaccio, he's 34, coming off a torn labrum. I think we'll go ahead and say goodbye to his 2.6. Kyle Hurd at 3.4, 3.25. Funderburk, we'll bring him back. He only wants 1.9. That's a reasonable contract. And that's my phone. Hang on just a second, guys. All right, so we got Noah Schultz left. He wants 6.3. Can we get him for 6? Well, it would be 6.1. Yeah, we can get him at 6. All right, that's fine. All right, so now we got Sheehan and Coffee. So I think Coffee, as good as he's been, I think this is an easy decision. We've had a lot of people interested in him, so I hope that we can get something interesting back in return. I would prefer somebody who's on the league minimum, and I would actually prefer a bullpen arm. Just replace him. So I think what I'm going to do, I mean, like Kansas City's offering us some interesting players. Too many. Reimer looks pretty good. Too many offensive players, though. I want bullpen arms. Snelling looks all right. He's making more than I want to pay. It's weird that it's like almost all batters. It's usually the other way around. It's usually like, here's 1,000 bullpen arms. Little's really good, but again, that doesn't help us because of the ARB number. It's Alamon's ARB number. Yeah, it doesn't really help. I mean, it cuts down a little bit, but Leski, what's his ARB number? 5.5. That doesn't help. Grant Holman, 2.6. That's not unreasonable. He's an extreme ground ball guy. That might work. Now that I want to get rid of him, nobody wants him. Waldrop at 2.8. DJ Hers, he might be a bit better option. So our number's 2.2. And fans are going to hate it, but Hers, 70 stuff, 55 movement, 40 control. It was really good last year. This past season wasn't terrible. It was above average. Now, this is obviously BABIP induced. I mean, 2.36 ERA with a 2.14 BABIP. But, I mean, he was good. Can we get anything else with him? How did Luciano do? 18 homers. Arrighetti. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to have much. This is the expansion team. Who was that pitcher on Kansas City? It was Kansas City, right? No, it wasn't. Who was it? Oakland, Grant Holman. mean, probably a little bit more consistent. I don't like the splits. Yeah, let's do this. Las Vegas. Let's do this. Yeah, I guess. Artie's making a bunch. Looking at their other bullpen arms just to see, do they have anybody else they're willing to throw my way? No, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Fans don't like it. They like the fact that we pick up hers, so that saves us a little bit of cash. I think we need to do the same thing with... So hers wants 2-2, so we can offer him 2-1. So that saves us $6-ish million. And then Emmett Sheehan. God, he's good. He's good, but I think we got to try to find a cheaper option. Let's see if anybody's going to be interested. Yeah, maybe we keep him. Maybe we keep Sheehan for one more year. What's 4.7? So 4.5. All right, 4.55. All right, and then the big thing is this. This is where we are going to, if we're going to be able to save money, this is where it's going to happen. Toronto will take him back, and I am going to game the system here, folks, so bear with me. Jack Neely looks pretty good. Let's go Jack Neely. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's go bit by bit here. You can't have Raffaella. 15%, no. 20%. All right, so we can retain 20 if we give them one of our best prospects, which I'm not prepared to do. So 35% they'll just take. Funderburk, yeah. Yeah, we can send them Gauge Jump, I think. Sheehan Stone. You can have Vilsaint. I mean, we are going to have to give up a prospect to get this done. Can't have Samford. You can have Shepard. We're going to have to add a couple more pieces in here, and I'm okay with that. Velazquez, you can have him. I think that's going to be the key. I think that's going to be the stopping point right there. Can I get another pitcher back from you? Lice. Jesus Chirinos. Or Brady Jones. You can have him. All right. So we're going to send Vlad back to Toronto here. We're going to retain 10%. The only real prospect we're giving up here is Jaquan Vilsaint. He was our first-round pick in 2026. We're going to send some spare parts. We're going to get Jack Neely, Hurston Waldrop back to help solidify our bullpen. And fans aren't going to like it, but it is what it is. So fans do like Waldrop back a little bit. So now we got some money. Now we have some money. So we sorted it out. Arbitration. So Royce Lewis, Isaac Paredes. What does Isak want? He wants 8. Yeah, that's more than I want to pay. I didn't think this was going to be a rental. That sucked. That's my fault for not looking at it. All right, Royce Lewis. I'd be much more comfortable with that. With a couple of team options at the end, and with this, with all of them at 25. All right, what about 5 years with all of them at 25? Oh, he wants team options. What if I did 4 years with 2 team options? Salary's not going to get it done. All right, so what if we do 25, then 27.5, then it's $275 million. I don't want to give him that much. Then 26, then 24. All right, so it's 4 years, $102 million for Royce Lewis. So we're going to need a catcher and some other stuff. All right, not ideal. This hasn't gone the way I would have liked. The hope was that I would have been able to bring back Paredes and Royce Lewis. Because we're going to lose Nolan Jones next season, and we just lost like one of our big power bats. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So we're just going to go ahead and sim. Pete Petula is our general manager. He fine. Go ahead and go. I don't care. What do we have for personnel? We need a new hitting coach. So let's take a look at that right away. Do we have a hitting coach in AAA that we want to just use? Gets along pretty well with everybody. What about Cleveland? Yeah, it looks like maybe Farrell Gomez. Let's make him our hitting coach. Elasic. You can find a new AAA hitting coach. That's fine. Tony Allen. Yep, we'll offer him a 5-year contract to be our hitting coach. And we'll just keep simming. That's disappointing, man. That is disappointing. All right, so Allen likes that. We are going to lose our GM. All right, so Bradfield signs, Funderburk signs, Hertz. Yeah, we don't get fan interest bumps for any of those, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right. We may take a step back this season. Honestly, we do sign Royce Lewis. Fans like that. Bumps us to an 86. This is a little concerning, though. Their scouting and development got hacked. So it'll be interesting to see where we are once we get to the off season, because I'm going to need to reinvest some money back into that. Gold Gloves today. Here's your American League. Raffaella wins it out in right field. That's cool. Reliever of the year, Tanner Scott for the Orioles, and Abner Uribe in the NL. Coffee finished 4th. Platinum Stick, American League. Royce Lewis won it at short in the National League. We won the Rookie of the Year for the first time, and we have to find a new assistant GM. Juan Guajardo won it in the AL, and then Yamamoto. We had 1-2, Yamamoto and Carlos Jorge. So let's find ourselves a new assistant GM here real quick. Not that that person's going to make a huge role or make a huge difference. I'd like somebody who... Okay, well, this isn't bad. Drafting in international amateurs. Oh, that's the budget. Prefer somebody who wants... Yeah, I like this guy. Robert Burns. Let's hire him. All right, so we got Manager of the Year, Cy Young, and MVP. Carlos Pulido wins it in the National League. Brandon Hyde in the American League. J.B. Buskowski's career ends. Cy Young, American League. Grayson Rodriguez. Misarowski in the NL. 300 strikeouts for Jacob Misarowski. Yamamoto finished second for the Dodgers. Our Yamamoto finished third. And the MVP. In the AL, it goes to Jason Dominguez. In the NL, it goes to Austin Riley. All right. Salary arbitration. Burns agrees to our contracts. We have a new assistant GM. We still need a catcher. I didn't even think about that. We don't have a catcher. Let's go ahead and finish. Contreras files for free agency, so we do get a... and we want ARB for both of these players. I forgot to offer them ARB, but that's fine. All right. So what do we got for internationals? Oh, my God. He only wants $1.8 million. Offer. Major League contract. Will he take a 4-year deal? Yep. Okay. I'm not even going to think about it. Not even going to think about it. Just offer him the contract. I don't even know how much money we have, but we're just going to offer him the contract. My guess is that doesn't get it done, but we will see. He already signed with Austin. Hate it when the game does that. He wants $20 million. Man, we do need some power. Bayo, Miller, a lot of pitching. We get $22 million. Okay. But I want to put some of that back into here, though. So let's bump this back up to 16. Bump this back up to 24. All right, so what do we need? Oof, that's rough. Who's in AAA that can get called up? Gonzalez, Little, Blyce, Guzman, I suppose, Adewale. Right now, those are our two catchers. So if we go to our lineup, clear. So our starting catcher right now is O'Neill Perez. So we're going to need to do something there. Starting first baseman will be Shawnuel. Starting second baseman, I hate to make Jorge our starting second baseman. He's just not that. He's just bad defensively. I forgot to do this again. Damn it. I forgot to do this last year. At least right away. All right, so we're going to start right off the bat with Carlos Jorge, and we are going to improve his defense at second base. Then we're going to throw Yamamoto up there, and let's work on his pitch movement. And then we're going to put Shawnuel up there, and let's work on his... See if we can get some additional power out of him. Harrington. I want to get... I'll go Burgess, work on his movement. Cobb, work on his movement. Bolivar, work on his plate discipline. So we've got Shawnuel at first. I mean, we'll list Jorge as our starting second baseman for now. Lewis is our starting shortstop. Jones our starting third baseman. Oof. I mean, do we go Goody? I think we're going to go Gutierrez in center, Rafaela in right. And then, we need a couple of things. Left fielder, DH, catcher, and we're fine pitching. I'm not going to make any moves to our rotation here. Hurt probably goes back into the rotation for now. And we'll run with this as our bullpen. So, we're exclusively going to be looking at our offense here. And then hopefully we sign that young guy, that young pitcher. All right. Batters. Really? That's awful. Gross. That can't possibly be right. Where is... Oh, I had a filter on. There we go. That looks better. It's like, where are all the players? All right. So we got like $16 million to spend, so we got to be judicious here in how we do this. Carlson wants 8. He was actually somebody I thought about bringing back. Not at 5 years, though. Encarnacion Strand would give us some power against lefties. Alvaro Hinojosa played for Lexington in the Atlantic League a year ago. He can rake. Pasquantino, last 2 years with the Yankees, hasn't been particularly good. Prado struck out over 200 times. So we needed catcher, left field, DH. Those are the 3 roles we're looking at. I don't mind the idea of bringing back... Oh, look, Jung-Hoo Lee. How was he defensively last year? It's so bad. This guy fills so many gaps for us. We simply can't afford it. Are there any contracts that we may want to consider trading? I mean, if we trade Sheehan, that clears 4.5 off the books. Just for shits and giggles, as they say. Sort of bat can we get back for Nishimura? Anything that makes it remotely worth it? Not trading him to the Dodgers. Really? Jim Melendez is making a buttload of money. That doesn't help. Manuel Rodriguez didn't really develop in this one like he has in other playthroughs. Great speed, good defense. The contact just isn't there. Huh. Interesting. Thought there would be a larger demand for him than that, but that's okay. I don't think there's anybody else that I mean, Sheehan's really the only one, but even that's not a. It's not it's not going to make it's not going to make or break us, right? It's only $4 million. Morales, Perdomo, that doesn't help. Iriarte, ground ball guy, 3+ pitches. Has some pretty extreme splits, much better against righties. I mean, he's not a bad option. But again, that only saves us $2 million. That's not really the answer. Huh. All right. Well, I think the answer then is to try to do this in pieces. So we've got Contreras, which we'll get a comp pick for. Bo Naylor that we can't afford. I'm thinking like Encarnacion, Strand, and Paredes is down to 22. If I signed him, I can't give him a 9-year contract. Like, don't be ridiculous. Do we go back to not having catchers who can hit and just use our mind? And we might. I mean, I'm not seeing anything here from a free agent perspective that is going to make a huge difference for us behind the plate. So maybe we try to go after, try to bring back Paredes. Oh, maybe not. Contact just dipped. It's down to a 45 contact. Yeah, I'm not convinced that contract ages well. Now, Carlson. I mean, I really would just like this guy. So let's request a scouting report. Maybe we can figure out a way to make it happen. But I want to keep an eye on Carlson. So in order to keep this video from being an hour and a half long, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to sim up to the Rule 5 and or maybe up to the winter meetings. I'll sim up to the winter meetings, and then we'll kind of see where we stand at that point. So I'll be right back. All right. We are back as I bang my desk with my hand. We're back. I'm just screwing around looking at stuff. So we're back on December 12th. I went through the winter meetings because I didn't make any trades in the winter meetings. There is one trade I have on the books that I'm thinking about finishing up here, that I'm thinking about doing. I'm just kind of take a look at what we have on our who isn't on our 40-man that maybe we'd like to put there, since we got the Rule 5 coming up here soon. Anyway, got sidetracked. As I was saying, Sawyer Farr should probably go on the 40-man as well. We have I had a trade that I was formulating, and I'll show you what it is here in a second. But we did sign Cisneros, 4-year, $7 million contract, so he'll be ARB eligible when he's 29. Even if he only ends up as a number 5 starter with those ratings, I mean, he should be significantly better than that. But I mean, if he ends up 70, 50, 65 with 5+ pitches, he'll be an ace. So because we signed Cisneros, and we've got a couple of options to be that 5th starter, namely Kyle Hurt. We can go to Christian Little if we want. We can go to Gavin Stone as a starter if we want as well. I put Iso Nishimura up on the trade block, and my reasoning behind it. He's had 2 really good years for us. BABIP's that looks like a sustainable number. I mean, he did it 2 years in a row. He was better this year than he was last season, threw more innings. He's been really good. I mean, a 1.18 whip, but he's 30. And in our last scouting report, his movement dropped from a 60 to a 55. And his ARB number next year bumps up to 17. If he has another good season like he did this year, that's probably going to go even higher than that. So I put Nishimura up on the block, and I included who did I include? I included Emmett Sheehan as the secondary option, I guess, if you will. As a package to try to come up with a trade, and we end up with the Red Sox again. And all I did was shop them. I shopped the two of them, and the Red Sox came back to me and they offered me a bat. And it's a bat that I don't think we can pass up. Look at some of the players on the trade block. This is just crazy. Connor Phillips isn't making a ton of money. Yamamoto's on the block. Oof. Anyway, so. Man, we might be able to make a trade for a pitcher too, just from looking at this. Hunter Brown, he's making $23 million, not that pitcher. Anyway, again, getting sidetracked. The trade that we have set up with the Red Sox is bringing in Tristan Casas with 30% of that contract retained. Casas has had 5 straight seasons of at least 3 WAR with the bat. He has 6 straight 30 home run seasons. He's got an unbelievable batting eye, 376 career on base percentage and almost 3,700 at bats, almost 4,400 plate appearances. Would be primarily a designated hitter since we've got Shanuel playing first base, but he signed for this year and next, and I made sure to double check that contract was not an option. He does indeed have 2 years left at $23 million. So if we make this trade with 30% retained, we're going to pay him 17 this year, and we're going to pay him 17 next year, which is what Nishimura was going to be, solo next season, and then Shaheen. His contract demand goes up to over 6 next year. So we're going to save some money in the long run. We save about $2 million this year. We're also sending over Danny Gibby, who's a 22-year-old outfielder, and Jaron Purify, who's a 24-year-old. We drafted him back in 2026. Bat looks, he hit okay in A-ball last year. Glove looks okay. But we're going to pick up Tristan Casas and add that big bat to our lineup. So we are going to take a fan interest hit with Nishimura. He's just popular. And then Sheehan is well-known. On the other side, we get Tristan Casas, who is extremely popular. So we should get a pretty substantial I got to add one more piece. All right, fine. Who do you want? You want this guy? Fine. You can have that guy. Can we get... how much can we get them to retain? Looks like that might be the limit. No, I'll give you Ryan Kennedy. Okay, that's it. So 40% of Tristan Casas' contract, so we'll pay Tristan about $14 million this year and next. We're going to save about $4.5 million. We're going to send the Red Sox Iso Nishimura, Emmett Shaheen, the 2 big pieces there for them to improve their pitching staff, and then some floatsome and jetsome. So Tristan Casas, come on down. Fan interest increase is amazing. So we're up to 89 now, and we have some money to play with finally. So let's go in here. I am going to have to add, obviously, a lot of players to our minor leagues. I didn't sign many of our free agents. We now have Casas in our lineup. He's our designated hitter. Most of our power is left-handed. Schoenel, Jones, Casas. So we might see some big RBI numbers from players like Rafaela, Royce Lewis, things like that. So we still need a left fielder, which is we're still waiting on Carlson. And Hino Josa only wanted a minor league deal. So I'm totally okay with that if he wants to sign a minor league deal with us. We still have some money. Who's on the block? Anybody that your teams are just looking to get rid of? Davis Schneider is a righty. He's making $15 million. Schultz, Rafaela, Cassius, no. And what would I do with Schneider if we signed him? I guess that's the question. He's not out. I mean, that's a great bat against lefties. Would he? Well, no, because he's only signed for this year, right? No, he's got $15 million for next year too. Corner infield, backup first and third, backup Schoenel and Nolan Jones. I mean, I'm okay with that. Is there a player I'm willing to trade for him? So Rafaela, no. I'm not giving you Rafaela. Okay, so it's not going to change. All right. Who else on the block? A lot of names on the block. It's the big ones. Jet Williams. Stud, man. He is a stud. Carson Williams, another one. 26 years old. He's making $30 million this year, though. Lars Nootbaar, if he was a righty. Again, we're lacking a lot. We're lacking power. That's forever a problem with us. We do need to think about our pitching staff now a little bit. I mean, Harrison, Yamamoto, Schultz, and Cisneros still has the potential to be as good as anything else, but we also don't have. And I don't want to spend too much money on my starting pitching because we finally are at a point where we can start truly thinking about some of these guys. Burgess probably has another couple years in the minors. Maldonado is getting there. I mean, he's probably a year or two away if he keeps developing. I forgot about Mullinax. He'll probably go to. Did he get any playing time in AA for us last year? Yeah, he'll start in AA. Furness, who he'll probably come up. He'll probably come up here as well. In fact, let's just call all these guys up to AA. So we finally have some. Cuevas can come up. Contreras can come up. We finally have some pitching that we can start to think about in the future. So I don't want to get too caught up in paying too many of these players long term. Connor Phillips. I mean, what do you want for Connor Phillips? I have no player that can make this work. What is it? A money thing? No, they just don't want to give him up for nothing. Which they don't want to give him up at all. It seems. Let's do it this way. Starters. Bring Giolito back. Logan Allen. I mean, he's been below average the last 3 seasons. Elder hasn't been bad. Making $11 million. Fats making 10. Yeah, I mean, they're not better than what we're throwing out there, so I don't want to. I mean, I guess let's look at free agency. I mean, we still have some money to spend, and maybe we can sign some of these guys to like a 1-year contract. Bring back Colby. It's good for us for a couple of years. He wants 12. Baz. Yeah, Shane Baz was somebody I was looking at. Oof. No. It's a lot of money. Brian Bayo wants $19 million. Walker Buehler, no. Let's look at pitching ratings if we're going to look at pitchers. Bring back Dustin May. No, he wants a lot of money. Juan Mercedes? No. Nolan Shohei. Contract is up. Shohei, contract is up, and yeah, he's not the pitcher he once was. Kodai Senga, no. Detmers wants 15. We can turn around and bring him right back. I like the idea of Shane Baz just not 9 years or whatever it was he was looking for. What is Colby looking for? He's looking for 6 years. I think we'll sit on these two, keep an eye on them, and see if we can bring one of them back. Let's get up to the Rule 5. We might be able to make an addition to our pitching staff through the Rule 5. All right, so Carlos Jorge didn't improve at second. That's a little disappointing because I was sort of relying on that. All right, who do we want to work on now? Let's get Cuevas to work on his defense. I mean, he could be. I mean, he's our third base replacement. It's not that far away either. Rule 5. Dylan Carlson, so Paredes signed with Philadelphia, $108 million over 7 years. Yeah, that's not a contract I was prepared to give. Received a trade proposal, Jose Mujica, for Vince Leitner. Nope. All right, so we're at the Rule 5. Is there anybody that I need to add to the 40-man? I don't believe there is. I don't have that large a roster right now. A lot of our players are. I gotta sign some veteran free agents. We're picking last, so let's just get right up to that first pick. Ethan Small, no. Ooh. Wow. Problem is, what do I do with them? I don't have I can't keep either of these. I can't keep these guys on my roster. Oh. He started out as an 80 overall, dropped to a 45. His overalls, yeah, no, he's gonna keep dropping just based off of what the scouting report said. Let's get batters. Nope. Looks like we're going to skip the Rule 5 again this year. It's fine. Just looking at the first couple names. Well, this guy wouldn't have been bad to pick up. All right, so let's. Oh, I got to go here, and of course it backed them all out. All right, let's get to the preseason, or not to the preseason. We'll get to January. Take that back. All right, message. So we lose Contreras. We pick up a supplemental second-round pick. A 2-year deal or a 3-year deal? 4-year deal. 4 years at 11 per. That's a pretty good deal. That's fine. So we take a small fan interest bump, but we're going to pick up a second-round supplemental pick. We do sign Dylan Carlson, and we do sign Alvaro Hinojosa. Carlson and Josa both on the big league roster now. I don't know what that means for our team. Blyce probably goes to AAA. Gonzalez goes to AAA. We're going to have too many players on our roster. So Carlson's now our starting left fielder. And we're really good defensively in the outfield. Really good defensively in the outfield. And I think we have enough power between Shanuel, Jones, and Cassius. Then Bradfield will be our backup fourth outfielder, I guess. Sanford will be our backup middle infielder. Ellis probably gets sent down. Josa, our backup first and third baseman, I guess. And then we still have, I'm keeping an eye on those pitchers unless they've already signed. They haven't. Okay. I can't. I'm not giving you 9 years, man. I'll do 3. Let's start here. Let's start with 3 for 10. That's $1 million. Still $1 million. That wasn't anticipated. So Baz at 3 for 10 seems like a great deal. Sure. Feels like a tradable contract, too, if we need to. All right. So we're going to end up getting Cisneros and Baz for what we were paying for Nishimura. All right, we're into January. International amateurs. We got to go back in here, and Al was somebody that I had looked at. Soto, Montoya, Rangel. I think this was the guy. Yeah, because he wasn't really a starter. Take those guys to training. We got to go back to batters now. Scouting accuracy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got to get into internationals. We got to run the practice. I'm thinking we go after Santillan and Leal. Let's just get there first. Baz, we still don't have any additional money, but we still have a little bit here. Dropped our scouting budget down, which doesn't help. I just can't help but spend money. That's just how I am. Hopefully Carlson doesn't regress. We got Schultz left for 1 season. Keep an eye on Vlad, see how he performs. Funderburk. There's nobody here that I look at and go, I gotta move. I gotta move right now. Bradfield may be an option to move next season. We can go to Mullinax or Blyce. Right? Yeah, we go to Mullinax or Blyce next season. Heck, we might even go to Blyce this season. Interest in Bradfield. Glider Figueroa. He's 25 years old. Looks pretty damn good for a second baseman. A shortstop with killer power. A Tyler Whitaker who can play all over the diamond. So they kind of want him. Those are some good players, man. All right, so who do we want? 39 home runs in AAA. Figueroa may not be a bad option considering we're probably going to lose our starting third baseman next year. So righty. Oof. Can we get Morel and Figueroa? Where do they have Figueroa? Is he in AAA? A 40-man? Where do they have Figueroa? I have to sneeze. Excuse me. He's on the big league roster. Okay. Where is he? Right there. Corner outfielder. Great bat against lefties. Glider Figueroa. Figueroa, excuse me. Another great bat against lefties. Passable at third for Enrique Bradfield. And if I send Funderburk, I don't really have extreme splits. I like Cody Funderburk. Kellner. All right, let's just submit it like this and see what they say. They might give us an answer here at some point. And we're at International Amateurs, so we got to do that. So I think the plan was Santillan. It's a pretty good second baseman. Oof. Del Rio. I got to go after Del Rio. We're just going to throw all the money at him. I mean, does he develop? Who knows? I mean, these guys are a crapshoot. We pick up Shane Baz. Now there's our fifth starter. Fine. You want, I'll remove Kellner, and you can have Funderburk. That is fine. Cool. Saves us $2 million. Complete the trade. I don't think either of those players make our team this year, but they make us younger this year and give us some flexibility. He had 55 home runs in AAA last year. So let's see if we sign Del Rio, and then we'll call it an episode. We don't. All right, so let's go back to International Amateurs. Partida, no. Salgado. Let's go after the catcher. From 4. Yeah, okay. Oh, so no improvement from Cuevas at third. That's no good. Player development lab. What now? Harrington? Guess we can try to improve his defense. We can't sign. I guess let's go to Santillan. 1.9. Let's offer him 2.75. All right, so we got Santillan. What's left for pitchers? Leal is still there. Ah, shoot. We can't sign him. All right. Yeah, that would have been nice to sign. That high work ethic. What do we got left for batters? How much do we have left? $2 million. All right, can we sign him? No. We cannot. Can we sign him? Nope. I think you know what? I'm going to save the money. I'm going to save the little bit of money we have left. because we have no money for extensions now, as our payroll next season jumps up to $237. That'll drop, though, once Nolan Jones opts out. It'd be interesting to see what Kyle Harrison does. He's got 2-team options at $50 million. You have to assume he's going to opt in. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. We have moved on from Vladimir Guerrero. We have moved on from Nishimura. We have brought in Tristan Cassius, Shane Baz, and Arturo Cisneros. Oh, man, he looks good. Amongst some other pieces, DJ Hers we brought in, Jack Neely we brought in, Glider Figueroa, Glider Figaro we'll go with, and Braylon Morrell. So, yeah, that's going to do it. I'm going to fill out the minor leagues here with some veterans, and that's it. So, how many wins? More or less than last season? It was 103-59 last season. More wins or less wins than we had last year? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.